Okay, so the next step we need to do is to go record all the furniture that's in the room that we want to include in our drawing. So in my case, I have this bookshelf thing behind me. I have my desk that's behind the camera here. I have another part of my desk on the other side here, and then I have another lower bookshelf that's here. Something to also consider is I look up and I have a couple light fixtures above me. You remember what we said, what type of line type we say is anything that's above the 4 feet? That would be the light fixtures. So we're going to include that as well, all right? So the first thing we want to do, remember, we're not worried about vertical heights because this is a ground plan. We only want to know this plane, the left, the XY axis. So in this case, I'm going to take 2 measurements off of this particular bookcase. One is I'm going to see how wide is it. So I'm going to hook the end of my tape measure here on the one end. And I'm going to look at this is. So I've got 2 feet 6 inches. It's also the same thing as 30 inches. But 2 feet 6 inches is what I want to record. So in this case, I'm going to make a new piece of paper. This is my furniture. And I'm going to write down 2 feet 6 inches. And then I'm going to make an X. That means by. By. I'm going to measure that same thing this direction now. I'm going to hook that back in. And that is, it looks like we have 1 foot 11 inches. Close enough, right? So it's 2 feet 6 by 1 foot, 1 foot dash 11 inches, all right? So this is the front and this is the side. I make a little notation to remind myself. F for front, that's 2 feet 6. And the side was 1 foot 11. So that's the first one I'm going to do. Okay, so the next one, I'm just going to make my way around the room. What I have here is a bookshelf I have. I'm a big fan of technical theater books, so I have a pretty big collection. But this is a bookshelf I have under my window, right? It is below my 4 foot level, so it works really well. This only needs to be, show the top view. I don't need any hidden lines or anything. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to measure the full front of it. So in this case, I go from one side to the other. And I have 5 foot 3 inches. All right, so I'm going to write down the 5 foot dash 3 inches. I'm going to put a little F underneath it just to remind myself it's the front. By, and then the depth of it, the side, I measured the side here and it's 11 inches. All right. So then I write that down, 11 inches. That's all I need to know. I'm just going to remind myself that's the side. I don't need to measure anything else on that. So what we want to do is we want to go around the room and find all the furniture. So if it's a bedroom, you want to put the bed, you want to put the dresser, maybe the end table, maybe the desk, those types of things, even the chair. I've had students even write down, here's my laundry basket, or here's a pile of clothes, right? So in theater, we get very detailed with our ground plans to show every little prop, every little piece of furniture and where it goes. So let's treat it like that. So have a little fun. If you want to go ahead and put all those little knickknacks on your ground plan, you can do that. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the time, I'm not going to do it on the screen, but I'm going to measure my light fixtures. And I'm going to measure from the wall, both directions, to find out where it is centered in the room. Now I know this is going to be a dashed line. This is going to be a hidden line. So I'll measure that off screen and we'll include that on our list so that when we sit down to draft, we have all our data. We don't have to go measure anything. All right? So take the time to go ahead and move around the room, measure everything, get it marked down, and then you'll be ready for the next step.